You have reached your sacred threshold, the point at which everything in your life starts to change. Pay close attention. You are here, hearing these words right now, for a reason. There is a deep way that the universe puts mirrors in front of us, but it only does this when we are truly ready to see what's on the other side. The reflection that shows us who we are becoming. One day you wake up and everything looks the same, but it doesn't feel the same. Things like people, places, and daily routines are still there, but they don't hold you as tightly as they used to. There has been a small change, something deep and new. You feel it even though no one else does, and you can't get rid of it. That's not confusion, it's the change. Your chest feels tight, your mind is foggy, and you have a sudden urge to break the rules you set for yourself a long time ago. This is not a crisis, it is an invitation. There are times when the universe doesn't knock on your door very clearly. It can be a whisper in your ear, a feeling you can't quite put your finger on, or a restlessness that doesn't make sense at first, but then does. You've thought about it, right? It's like another version of you is already moving, changing, and growing, and you're just now starting to catch up. You try to push it away, make sense of it, and keep yourself busy with schedules and logic. But when there is no sound, it gets louder. Not in terms of size, but of its presence, weight, and strong pull. You know in your heart that something has already started. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel before we go into more detail about this change. This is more than just a subscription. It's an energetic promise to stay in tune with this frequency, making a stable path for your own conscious growth as these changes happen. There is more going on than just emotional turmoil. You're going through a quantum transition, which changes the way your timeline works. You are in a field of possibility, and things have started to change in that field. Your frequency isn't the same as what you used to think was normal. This is why your current reality is starting to fall apart, slowly and peacefully. It's not breaking apart, it's letting go. The space in between is how you feel right now. This area is holy. The void, or womb, is where new realities are born. It's also where your next self starts to take shape. The trap is that most people run away from the void. It's known as being stuck. They get scared when it's quiet. They fix things that aren't broken just because it makes them feel better. Not you, though. You're here. You are hearing. In other words, a part of you already gets it. It's not over yet. This is the beginning. Because they were made for a different version of you, your old habits make you feel so disconnected from them. It was clear that the habits, relationships, and duties fit with who you were, not who you are becoming, and the voice of that future self is getting louder, not with demands, but with resonance, a frequency that says, remember. Being broken doesn't mean you can't change. Something bad doesn't need to happen. Being still is all it takes to hear what is already moving. That's what makes this moment so strong. Something has already happened. Not something is going to happen. The change has already happened. Don't wait for your life to begin. You are standing in the very moment it began again. The old reality won't let go, though. Not even a whisper. It will use comfort and familiarity to try to get you to come back. In the past, it made you feel safe, but now it makes you feel trapped. It will remind you of all the things you used to value. It's not a weakness. Your system is just getting back to normal. After a lifetime of survival patterns, your nervous system is cleaning itself out. Take a deep breath. Look at it. But don't think that it's the truth. Because your mind won't tell you this. Pain is information. It means your energy is moving faster than the things going on around you. It means the field is getting longer. Your higher self has already said yes, and now your body is following suit. Press the like button as soon as you feel this truth in your heart. It's more than just a click. It's a physical action that lets your body know you agree with this energetic upgrade, which helps your body tune in to the frequency of your higher self. The world might not change right away when that happens, but you will. That's where everything starts. It's been taught to us that big changes need to happen at the right time and with fireworks. But in quantum reality, the changes that are most important are quiet. They come while you're doing the dishes, driving to work, or just sitting there alone, wondering why your chest hurts and your dreams seem close but far away. That's not a coincidence. That's a message. That is alignment taking shape in a way that can't be seen. This is the sign you've been looking for. This is magic, not because of these words, but because you are ready. Share this transmission with a friend or family member who is about to experience their own big change. This is more than just sending a video. It's also spreading a quantum signal that helps people who are energetically ready to receive it experience the same resonance. These feelings and thoughts would not be here if you were not already going through the change. This isn't the beginning of your shift, it's just becoming aware of it. And recognizing something is how energy turns into form. In quantum mechanics, the observer effect shows that the world around us changes based on what we know. That is, the transition speeds up when you are aware that you are going through it. You can reaffirm this in the comments by writing, "I am expanding beyond my old story." It's important to let the universe know that you are consciously evolving, which will give power to the change that is already happening. This is what I want you to know. You're not lost. You're not behind. You're not hurt. You are getting bigger. As you step out of the timeline you no longer fit into, you enter the one that has been waiting for you to notice it. That part of you is already out there in the field. They've been whispering to you through your pain, nudging you through your boredom, and inviting you through your tiredness. Right now, you're hearing. You can now see. It's now that you remember. One of the hardest and most important parts of awakening is realizing that the people you care about might not be going with you. They aren't wrong or bad. They're just not vibrating at the same frequency you are starting to remember. Realizing this doesn't just make room for you. It makes you quietly miss the person who fit in, who blended in, and who was easy for others to understand. That version of you was never the whole story, though. That's not why you were born. You were born to become. Dissonance is also needed for becoming. It means growing out of something that used to feel like the perfect fit. This is not a loss. The friend who doesn't understand you anymore. The job that used to make you happy. The clear-cut life path that now feels empty. They look like reflections. They are energetic signs that the frequency inside you has changed. This makes what you attract, what you put up with, and what you attract start to change. This is about coherence versus decoherence in the language of quantum mechanics. The field starts to deviate from your current reality when your internal signal is too different from the environment. That's what you feel. Boredom, anger, and maybe even loneliness. But this isn't a punishment. It's resonance making room for what really fits you right now. The universe often tests your courage in this stage, the time between who you were and who you are becoming. It does this through silence, not chaos. Some people may say, "You've changed." "What's wrong?" they might ask. They might be worried about you not because something is wrong, but because your change makes them feel less stable. And now comes the part that no one tells you about. Your shift will sometimes make them afraid. It happens not because you want it to, but because when one person in a system starts to grow, it pulls everyone else along with them. As you evolve, you hold up a mirror to yourself, and some people are not ready to see what they have been hiding. What are you going to do? You take deep breaths. You keep your feet on the ground. You pay attention. You won't shrink either. You don't say sorry for evolving or try to explain away your growth. It's important to know that your alignment is fixed, so you can walk with grace through the valley of invisibility. If this truth resonates with you, make the comment, "My alignment is my priority." When you type these words, they send a strong message to the field that you are choosing your inner resonance over any noise or expectation from the outside. It's not easy to put you into a box. You're here to be a frequency, a vibration, and a living example of what happens when someone picks truth over comfort and inner resonance over external validation. That path is, in fact, quieter and sometimes more lonely. That being said, it is also stronger. The field starts to transform coincidences into synchronicities once you match the vibration of your higher timeline. The right people, the right conversations, and the chances you didn't expect don't show up before your shift. They show up because of it. When you grow up, you may feel like your old world can't see you as much, but your new world, the one that was waiting for you to show up as yourself, can. Not the curated or masked version, but the one that doesn't have to say why they are interested in silence, depth, and growth. It is already taking shape, and it is attracting a new ecosystem that is based on resonance rather than reputation. Most people don't understand that quantum change doesn't start with changes in the outside world. There is a frequency split at the beginning. Your mind starts to vibrate at a different speed, and your old reality can't keep up with it. This is why love and relationships end, and why you can't act like something feels right when it doesn't. The mismatch is intolerable because your soul knows that what it used to put up with was just staying alive, not being in sync. You're not making a scene. You're not crazy. You are just becoming aware of something your body has always known, but your mind had to forget in order to fit in. It's time to remember. You don't need everyone to understand. You only need to know yourself. The part of you that says, "I'm not lost," needs to be respected. It's been rising through your pain. I'm just losing it. If you want to let go of the need to be understood, this is your pass from the field, not me. Honor your path, even if no one is cheering you on. Trust that the way you're aligned is making waves that other people may not be able to see yet, but will, when they're ready, will change their world. You're not here to be what makes sense. You're here to be what makes a difference. If you're going with resonance instead of reason, make that frequency stronger by liking this video. This action creates a wave in the quantum field that supports your desire to be your true self in every moment. At some point in your spiritual growth, you stop being angry about the things that happened in the past and start seeing them as raw material. Everything changes with that one shift. Being aware of how nothing you went through was in vain makes you stop trying to escape your story and start integrating it. Scars, confusion, and mistakes that you thought made you who you were not accidents. They were rites of passage. They didn't break you. They made you who you are today. The quantum field doesn't care about right and wrong. It does not reward or punish. It only shows. The field saw what you once labeled as a failure as contrast, calibration, and momentum. Now that your eyes are open, you don't see a history of wrong turns when you look at your past. You can see a sacred map of all the energetic threads that brought you to this point. To be honest, some of those threads were really painful to read. The betrayal, the years of spinning your wheels, the jobs that tired you out, the relationships that made you feel small, and the silence you had to deal with when no one believed in you were all things that were setting you up for your frequency. When you start to work on a quantum level, you understand that alignment is not about circumstances, but about vibration. And sometimes, going through all the lower frequencies quickly is the best way to keep a higher frequency stable. Not because you had to suffer, but because you had to fully see your old self before you could let it go. Don't see your past as a list of things you wish you could change. Instead, see it as something that has helped you grow. Every version of you that doubted, gave up, or ran was practicing contrast and being out of sync. This was done so that when alignment did come, you would know it right away, without doubt or self-sabotage, with the clarity of someone who has earned it through fire. The universe doesn't move quickly because of this. It's not trying to give you results. Instead, it's making you the kind of person who can hold them. And becoming that meant everything. Any delay, detour, or moment of, "Why is this happening to me?" turned out to be a way to say, "Now I understand." I want you to hear this, even if you aren't there yet, and still feel bad about the decisions you made or the time you think you wasted. There was no waste. Not a single break, season, or second. Not at all the breakdown. In quantum mechanics, a breakdown is just the breaking down of incoherence, or the unraveling of everything that doesn't match your true frequency. From that point on, even if it seems like your life is falling apart, what's really happening is that your old vibrational framework is falling apart to make room for a life based on sovereignty instead of survival. Remember that you are not broken. You're not behind. You're getting caught up. When you look at your past through this lens, you'll see that the timeline you thought you lost was never lost. It grew and spiraled, getting you ready for a quantum leap in awareness that couldn't happen until your energy was ready to support it. So don't feel bad about your past. Instead, honor it. Imagine it as a rite of passage, a school that you couldn't see that taught you the language of vibration. Every no taught you how to be smart. Every dead end showed you the way. With each loss, the frequency for what is truly aligned was cleared. Even putting things off was useful because it taught you where your fear was hiding. Even the things you did to hurt yourself were holy. They showed you what you didn't think you deserved. Even the fact that you felt numb was a sign from God. It gave your nervous system time to catch up. You've never gone off track. You've always been practicing for the life that will finally show who you really are. You can think of this video as an act of alchemy. You are consciously turning the energy of your past into the foundation of your new reality with this one click. You are recognizing that every moment has led you to this point. That's still true. If a voice inside you says, "But I wasted so much time," I want you to dig deeper. Quantum gestation is what the universe calls the time you think is wasted. There is already a version of you stored in the field. The next octave of yourself can only come into being after enough contrast, preparation, and energetic pressure. That time won't be years away either. It's already here. You can feel it because you've already gone over the line. You are not waiting to get there. You are now aware that you are here. Being able to remember and make this change shows that everything that came before was not punishment. It was programming. the vibrational coding for the more fundamental software of who you are becoming. Make a comment that says, "My past prepared me for this moment." This will fully honor your journey. Let this be a sign of how strong you are and the end of any regrets you may still have. Let your whole history fuel your becoming. During every change, there is a time when it doesn't feel like a breakthrough, but like being lost. It's like being in a room where everything looks like it should be there, but it doesn't feel right. Things aren't crazy or terrible. They're just off. A little quietly and over again. No one can understand because there seems to be nothing wrong, but something is moving around inside. That's the whisper right there. The sacred, soft voice of your future timeline is calling to you, not to tell you what to do, but to ask you about things. The whisper never screams or begs. It doesn't make sense. It keeps coming back to you in the background noise of conversations, the sudden need to clear your mind, or the memory of something you haven't thought about in years. It shows up in your dreams, as numbers that keep coming back, and as a pain in your chest when you're trying to act like everything is fine. A lot of people don't care about it. They are afraid it might be true, not because they don't hear it. If they did what it said, they might have to give up everything they worked hard for just to feel safe. You're not here to be safe, though. You're here to find the truth. Truth never yells. There is a whisper because the real thing doesn't push its way in. It waits to be asked to come. You haven't been feeling randomly unhappy or hungry for something more lately. It's not a coincidence. It's not stress or a phase. You are talking about your timeline, the one that already exists in the quantum field, where you are free to be yourself and feel fully alive. You can feel resonance in that timeline because it is already moving. In physics, two frequencies that are in sync make each other stronger. You are going through that. There is no change in decibels when you listen to the whisper for longer. It just gets stronger and more present. It starts to change the way you live. It's there in the void between your thoughts. It's there when you think about your next move before making the same old choice. You start to think about things you didn't think about before. That's when the invitation can't be turned down. In pain, the field is not punishing you. It is aligning you through it. Because you won't let go of the old timeline until it makes you feel bad. You won't grow out of it. That's why you'll stick with it. Habit, not resonance. That's why the whisper gets louder when it's quiet. It's not meant to scare you. It's there to remind you that taking action is not the first step toward change. It starts with getting permission. And now is that time. We have found the sign you've been looking for to let you know it's okay to want more. The whisper is more than just an idea. It's a call. To get back to who you are, not to fix yourself, not to start over, but to get things in order. No one will be able to see the next version of you being made. It will be shaped in the quiet moments, the sacred little choices, and the places where you pick resonance over routine. When you pay attention to the whisper instead of the noise, a new possibility comes into being. Say it in the comments below if you're ready to listen to this voice inside you. I am listening to the whisper. Writing it down makes your intentions stronger and lets the universe know that you are ready to be led from within and trust where it takes you. That's not just poetic, it's huge. Reality doesn't react to what you say. It reacts to what hits home for you. Like this transmission to bring this idea into the real world. View it as a real-world manifestation of your resonance. Clear signals like these are picked up by the quantum field, which makes the whispers of your soul louder. You become a new signal in the field when you start to listen to the whisper. This signal says, "I am no longer available for what does not align." Attracting different people, events, and timelines is what that signal does. Not because you pushed them, but because you finally got them to match. You can do something right now. Not a big choice that will change your whole life, but a small one. Pay attention to what you've been hearing in the silence. Affirm this for yourself if it hits home. To the field and the part of you that has been whispering the whole time, let it be a signal. They are waiting for you to signal back. There is more to this moment than just watching a video. There is a sacred yes to what has always been waiting for you, once you stopped trying to make sense of it. There is no way that the whisper can make sense. It talks in the language of the soul, of vibration, and of knowing without proof. It will change more than just your life if you follow it. Your timeline will be altered. As you awaken, you gradually become more and more like the person you've always wanted to be. But suddenly, you feel more and more scared. It doesn't make sense at first glance. Were you not after this? Isn't this what you asked for when you prayed and wrote in your journal late at night? When you whispered, "I am ready," around and around? You feel like your chest is getting tighter as you stand on the edge of something that could change your life forever. Part of you wants to go back to what you know. Fear is not a red flag. That's the secret. That's a sign. It's not a sign that you are in danger. It means that you are changing. It's not telling you to stop, but you're about to make a whole version of reality come together. A particle moves through a barrier that it should not be able to pass through, despite all odds. This is called quantum tunneling in quantum mechanics. Deep down, we've known this for a long time. Once the soul is ready, the energy of a fully decided heart changes the laws of physics, the order of matter, and the timelines. When the old frequency and the new one rub against each other, you feel fear. You are leaving a timeline behind you, and its echo is pulling on your nervous system one last time. It says, "Don't change. It's safe to stay here." But safety isn't the point anymore. It is expansion. Your current identity, which is based on years of habits and staying alive, doesn't know what's beyond this point. So it gets scared. Not because something bad is going to happen, but because someone or something unknown is. If the ego could stay in a prison, it knew what would happen. It would rather than walk blindly into paradise. But the view is already clear in your soul. It knows what's on the other side. Your ego is trying to hold on to an old model that says, "This is who you are." This is what causes the tension you feel, like worry, doubt, and the sudden urge to hurt yourself. That is no longer true, though. It feels so real, which means you're almost done rewriting it. The fear is no longer loud. It is deep and layered. This is how you know you are about to make a quantum jump. It stays there, hiding as logic and reasons to wait. It doesn't scream. It sounds like, "Maybe I'm not ready yet." That's not wisdom. It's just being stuck. It's most noticeable when the jump is close. The new timeline you follow is already there. You don't have to make it from scratch. To tune in, you have to let go of the static, which is the noise of the past and the false sense of control. Take a deep breath every time you feel scared. Not to get away from it, but to see it. Understand that it's just the line between dimensions. The thicker it feels, the closer you are to getting through. You weren't made to break at the threshold, though. You were made to cross it. There is no need for certainty in quantum transitions, which is a beautiful thing. All they need is coherence. You don't need to know how it works. Just make it vibrate like it does. It has already happened in the field. The version of you that is living this new reality is already here and sending messages back to the current you through time, energy, and intuition. These signals say, "Don't stop here. We're so close." As you get closer, strange things will start to happen. Old friends may pull away from each other. Chances may appear out of nowhere and then disappear, which will test your trust. Your body may hurt. Your sleep may change, and your moods may go all over the place. This is not instability. It is the process of adjusting. Your physical, energetic, and emotional bodies are all lining up with a new frequency. Things that don't go with it will be thrown away. Allow it. Let the bad habits go. Allow the distractions to fall apart. Let go of the roles you no longer need. Through the fear, your real life is coming up. This is the life you were meant to live, not the one you were taught to settle for. And this moment, this shaking, scary, and thrilling moment, is what it feels like to pick it. Not just with your words, but with everything you know. That's good that you're scared right now. It means you're almost there. To push against the wall between timelines, you are no longer going around in circles. That wall isn't as thick as it looks either. You just need to feel scared and move anyway. Not by force, but by trust, being there, and being sure that this isn't just a phase, it's a way in. Comment. I trust the process of my becoming if you decide to walk through this portal and share your courage with the group. Your comment can be a digital record of your leap of faith that encourages others who are on the same holy threshold. The real you is waiting on the other side, but not with answers. They are waiting with alignment. Most of us have believed a lie, that the change we want is just around the corner. We believe we need one more big idea, one more book, or one more star sign. There may have already been the change you were waiting for, though. What if this unease, this feeling that something is changing, that you can't deny, isn't a sign of the change but proof that you are already in it? The truth is that there are no fireworks when the shift happens. It comes in whispers. It happens when you stop trying to catch it and start getting ready for it. When you stop wondering when will it happen and start knowing it already has. Your life is different now than it was before. The outside may look the same house, job, and relationships. But on the inside, a new frequency is taking hold. You said yes to something more important, and the field has already answered, even if you're still not sure what that looks like. The real world doesn't wait for you to be ready. Based on who you are now, it acts. The fact that you are still here, watching and listening, shows that you are not just interested. This is coherence. You know deep down that this moment is important. The field has heard you. As of now, you have passed the vibrational threshold. Now all that's left to do is walk away. Don't expect big changes to happen right away. Plan for alignment. You can expect small changes in the way you think, the choices you make, and the way you talk to yourself. The shift is a frequency, not an event. Your outside world will change to fit your inner truth the more you work to keep it stable. Holding the vibration before the results show up, trusting the frequency before the manifestation happens, and knowing that the field changes reality based on your embodiment, not your effort. This is what spiritual maturity looks like. Now let me ask you this. What would you do right now if you were sure that your new timeline had already started? Do you still doubt yourself? Would you still need to ask for permission? Would you keep telling yourself stories that say you're not ready, Or would you breathe more deeply, speak more clearly, and refuse to do what makes you feel bad, even if it's easy? Would you stop running your life and start living it, like someone who knows they're not the same person they used to be? The best way to anchor this frequency is to say in the comments, "I am embodying my new reality now." Your words are very strong. Let this statement solidify your change and let everyone know that you are now living in the timeline you chose. So that's the invite. And that's what the field is giving you right now. This is not a promise for later. It is a way in for now. Don't worry. You don't need to know everything. Yes, you may still feel shaky in your nerves. You can live inside the becoming, though. There's no need to be perfect or sure of yourself when you show up. Being present is what the shift is all about, not being perfect. It's about facing your fears head on, making sense of the chaos, and trusting yourself more than your trauma. As you start to feel this shift, you might want to share this video to make the field stronger as a whole. Each share sends this activating frequency to another soul that may be going through this change. This makes the network of light and conscious awareness stronger all over the world. I made something for you if you need help holding this frequency. If you want to deepen your awareness, ground your practice, and go from inspiration to long-lasting change. It's not just a book, Awaken Your Quantum Power. It calls people who are ready to step fully into the field, not with theory, but with embodiment, and tells them what to do. That poem was written for times like this, when your soul whispers louder than your doubt, and all that's left to do is act. The link is in the comment below that has been pinned. Do not rush, but do take your time. But keep this in mind. The field has already changed, and now you have too. You didn't just watch a video, you were a part of a timeline. Your future self is already having a good time, even if you can't quite feel it yet. As of today, you remembered. You remembered that making an effort never made things better. It was about listening to the part of you that has always been waiting and saying yes. Not in the far away, but in the quiet. The shift is not going to happen. It's right here. Make sure you are subscribed and that notifications are turned on so that you can keep integrating and stabilizing this new frequency into your life. When you subscribe, the energy circuit of this transmission is complete, and you will be sure to get the guidance you need as you move forward in this new reality.